Okay, so a function can be increasing or decreasing. This is a real formal definition of a function. It says it's increasing when f of x1 is smaller than f of x2. So this would be an example of an increasing function. Actually, it doesn't even have to be increasing all at the same rate. Like this one would be an increasing function. And what that means when it says f of x1, so this is like the, you got to think about this as like a y value. So this is like how tall this f of x is, like a y value, how tall that guy is. And then this one is how tall this one is, right? The y value of the x2 point. So when the y value of the first point is smaller than the y value of the second point, it's an increasing function over that interval for every x in that interval. So you can see this is definitely increasing. Just get the idea that it's increasing, and then we'll go to decreasing here. Very similar idea. So function is decreasing if, it kind of goes down at different rates. That's okay. But again, we're looking at how tall this guy is. It's larger than this one, which is shorter. So when that's taller than that, you can look at this, it's increasing, and that one's decreasing. So increasing, decreasing. Okay. Now get out your TI Inspire and graph this. So you can see here I've typed it in. I may want to just adjust these slightly. Let's say maybe -5. That actually seems fine there. Maybe 2, 3, and -3. It's a pretty good view of the graph here. It's just a little bit better anyway. So you want to use your trace function. Hit the menu key and choose trace, menu 5-1. Then you want a cursor to the left or right until you find the maximum point. There it is. If you're having trouble, hit the up arrow and press enter to lay down a point. That's a local maximum. Go to the left and until you hit the point and press enter. Lay down a local minimum. And then try to find this one. This one might tell me y-intercept. I think it's the y-intercept and the minimum there. So I've got 3 points there. There you go. So we're going to use this graph. So you want to kind of take this one and bring it. There we go. So you want to kind of identify the parts of this graph that are increasing and the parts that are decreasing. It looks like this first part is definitely a decreasing portion. Then it looks like it increases between those points. Then it starts going down again. And then it starts going up again. So it's really got 4 different areas. It's kind of like a W there, it looks like. And so then it's just a matter of writing down the domain and range here. So the domain. It's going to go from, looks like negative, well, the domain of that, maybe I shouldn't say the domain here. Let's say the decreasing portion of the domain. We're going to use the domain to talk about this, the decreasing portion. Writing with my finger, it's not very good, is it? Okay, so decreasing this first portion there is from -infinity, comma, looks like to -2. So again, I'm looking at the x value there, not the y value, just the x value, -2. And it doesn't matter if you use brackets or parentheses with the increasing, decreasing. I usually use brackets. Then it's increasing. Looks like from -2 to -1 there. So from -2 to -1. And then again, it's decreasing from -1 to 0 using the domain. So from -1 to 0 is also a decreasing interval. And then from 0 all the way to infinity there, it looks like from 0 to infinity, it's also decreasing, and that would be parentheses there. But that's increasing there. So 2 increasing intervals and 2 decreasing. And that's how you do increasing, decreasing using your calculator. So again, you want to type this in your calculator. You want to get the good window here. Once you find a good window for your graph, and this is a pretty good window for this one, again, you want to identify which parts are decreasing. This portion of the graph is decreasing, then it increases here, and then the function decreases. And that goes on forever, it goes on forever that way. So again, we're just going to label the points, the parts where this function is. Let's start with decreasing. So decreasing from negative infinity to, again, the x values here are 0. We're labeling it with domain. Then it increases from 0 to 1.4. 0 to 1.4. The biggest mistake I see here is people go, well, from 0 to 18.4 or something like that, right? Like using the y values. It does go up to 18.4, but we're using the domain to label that interval. So we're using x values to label that domain. And finally, there's another decreasing portion from 1.4 to infinity. And again, it doesn't matter if you want to use brackets here, brackets, that's fine. It doesn't matter for increasing, decreasing. The AP Calculus exam accepts either. So if they accept either, I will accept either. That is your very quick lesson on identifying increasing and decreasing intervals for a function.